Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something a bit different, something really unique. Iranian traditional hotels. We're moving beyond, the standard international chains and diving into places that are, well, an experience in themselves, deeply connected to Iran's culture and history.
Absolutely. And if you're a traveler who's really looking for that authentic feel, a genuine connection to the place and its past, these traditional hotels are just a fantastic option. Way more than just a bed for the night.
Exactly. They're like living history.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to explore today, using our source material as a guide. We're aiming to unpack what makes these historical spots so special, so appealing.
In our main source here, this article, Say Joe, it really highlights how these hotels are often housed in seriously historical buildings. We're talking grand old mansions, maybe from the Qajar or Safavid times.
Wow.
Or even converted caravanserais, those ancient roadside inns.
Yeah.
Just imagine.
Imagine the stories. Okay, so we're going to explore the architecture, the whole vibe, the services, and look at some specific examples across Iran. Let's start with the basics, though. What really defines a traditional Iranian hotel?
Well, number one is definitely the architecture. It's all rooted in classic Iranian design.
Okay.
You almost always find a central courtyard. That's the heart of the building, really. A calm, central space.
Right, I can picture that.
And the rooms. They're usually arranged to look onto this courtyard, which often has gardens, maybe a water feature. It's very inward-looking, very serene.
That sounds immediately calming. What other architectural things should we look out for?
Oh, lots of detail. You'll see beautiful arched ceilings, for instance. And then there's muqarnas.
Muqarnas.
Yeah, it's hard to describe, like incredibly intricate, almost honeycomb-like carvings, usually in domes or under arches. Really stunning geometric work.
Okay, intricate carvings.
And definitely colorful tile work. So much character comes from the tiles. Plus, the materials themselves. Lots of traditional brick, wood, plasterwork. It all contributes to that authentic historical feel.
So it's a very specific design language, not just old buildings.
Exactly.
And that must contribute to the atmosphere, right? The source talks about this real sense of tranquility.
It does. It's a mix of things. The lighting is often very intentional, soft, highlighting the architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got the sound and sight of water ponds, maybe small fountains in the courtyard. Very soothing.
Water's important in Iranian garden design, isn't it?
Hugely. Symbolically and practically for cooling. And then you add the greenery, orange trees are common, other plants. It just creates this peaceful bubble away from the city bustle.
Sounds like stepping into a different pace of life.
Yeah.
Okay, what about services? The source mentions traditional offerings.
Right. Food is a big one.
Yep.
Many have traditional dining halls, sofra coins, serving authentic Iranian dishes. A real taste of the region. And traditional tea houses are very common too. Places to relax, have classic Iranian teas and drinks. It's another way to just soak in the culture, Enjoying tea in a place that might be centuries old.
The whole experience.
Oh.
But, okay, the practical question. Are you roughing it? Staying in history often means compromises.
That's a fair question. But no, generally not. The places know travelers need comfort. So while they focus on preserving the history, the authenticity,
Yeah.
they usually provide modern amenities. You'll typically get internet access, often things like air conditioning, updated bathrooms, sometimes even extras like a jacuzzi. They try to blend it thoughtfully.
Okay, that's good to hear. The best of both worlds, kind of.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right then, let's talk specifics. The source highlights some notable hotels in different cities. Where should we start? Isfahan seems like a major hub.
Isfahan is definitely a key spot. And you have to start with the Hotel Basi. The article calls it one of Iran's most beautiful, most ancient hotel. Yeah, its origins go back to the Safavid era. And today it's run as a 5-star hotel, which tells you something about the quality.
Safavid times. Wow.
Yeah.
What makes it so special visually?
Well, the central courtyard is just magnificent.
Ah.
A real oasis. But also think mirrored walls, intricate wall paintings, just this incredibly rich traditional atmosphere.
Yeah.
Staying there is like stepping into a history book.
Sounds incredible. What else does Isfahan offer?
There's the Sohravardi traditional hotel. It's different, more intimate. Originally a Qajar-era house, actually 2 buildings with 2 courtyards.
Oh, okay.
Now it's a smaller hotel, just 10 rooms, but they've kept that historical layout and charm.
10 rooms. That sounds quite personal. The source mentions uniquely named rooms.
That's right. Each room is named after a prominent Iranian figure, adds another layer, doesn't it? And they have different levels, including VIP rooms with mirrored ceilings and walls. Very ornate.
Mirrored ceilings. Okay, that's definitely a statement. The source also gives quick mentions to others, like Keres Traditional Hotel.
Yeah, Curious is interesting. A 150-year-old mansion, and its location is fantastic. Right near Nakshi Jahan Square.
The main square.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. 17 rooms around a courtyard with a pond, gardens. Great location, lovely setting.
And Khazar Munshi.
Khazar Munshi sounds quite grand, described as having a palatial design. Lots of mirror work again, those Mukornas carvings we talked about, detailed plaster work. Apparently, its courtyard is especially nice at night with the lighting. And again, good location near the main square.
Lots of mirror work. It seems like a theme.
It's a classic element in certain periods of Iranian architecture, yeah. Adds light and grandeur.
What about the Joy Bar Boutique Hotel? Boutique suggests maybe a modern twist.
Sort of. It blends Qajar architecture with a more minimalist feel. Think white walls, cleaner lines, but still with exposed brick and historical bones. It's got a striking turquoise pond in the courtyard. A different vibe, but still rooted in history.
Interesting contrast. Okay, Isfahan is clearly packed with options. Let's head south to Shiraz. What's the scene there?
Shiraz has some amazing historical residences too, like the Minas traditional residence. Its history goes back 400 years. Safavid era again,
400 years.
and it only has 4 rooms, each one uniquely designed. Talk about exclusive.
Wow, only 4. That must feel very special. What about the Kanesian Traditional Hotel?
Kanesian showcases Qajar architecture. 9 rooms, again individually designed. The source mentions room names like Panch Dari, which means 5-doored, often indicating lots of windows onto a courtyard. Gushvara, which means like earring, often describing small alcoves. And Shah Nation, the king's alcove, usually the grandest part of the room. So lots of architectural detail and classic decoration.
Those names really paint a picture. Now, the source says it's near Kaji Bridge and Nashi Jahan Square, but isn't the square in Isfahan?
Good catch.
Yeah.
You're right. That seems like a little slip in the source material. Ganeshan is definitely in Shiraz, closer to the Kaji Bridge. Nashi Jahan is Isfahan. Just get a cross-reference sometimes.
Definitely. Okay, so Shiraz has more. The House of the Priests of Isfahan in Shiraz.
Yeah, confusing name. But it is in Shiraz. A Qajar mansion, apparently quite luxurious inside, but keeping historical features like mirror work and plasterwork. 11 unique rooms there.
And the House of Shirazi Traditional Residence.
That one's from the Zand era. Very exclusive again, only 5 rooms. And interestingly, you can apparently rent the whole place. Could be great for a group.
Oh, interesting option. The Iran Mer Shiraz Traditional Hotel.
Another old one, over 250 years, Qajar period. 14 rooms around a classic courtyard with a turquoise pond and a palm tree. Sounds picture perfect.
Definitely getting a pattern of beautiful courtyards, Passan Shiraz Traditional Residence.
That's a 200-year-old house, aiming for a nostalgic old-world feel. 7 rooms around a courtyard and pond. Seems focused on creating a warm, intimate atmosphere.
And Darush Shiraz Traditional Residence, also uniquely named rooms.
Yes, another restored Qajar house. 8 rooms with names like Tonjnai, corner, Kalvatka, secluded place, Shaneshin, again. It also mentions having a traditional Iranian bath and a gem gallery.
A gem gallery. That's unexpected.
All right, adds a unique twist. Then there's Ravi Boutique Hotel.
Okay.
Ravi sounds fascinating because it apparently combines architecture from 3 different eras: Zand, Qajar, and Pahlavi. 6 unique rooms, plus it has rooftop city views.
A blend of history. Nice. And the Escrew Boutique Hotel, we'll hear that name again later. Right?
We will in Yazd. The Shiraz Escrew is a 120-year-old building that used to be a caravanserai for Indian merchants.
Oh, wow. A trading post, basically.
Exactly. Adds another layer of history. 8 rooms, diverse designs, linked to the old textile trade. Imagine the travelers who pass through there.
That's really cool. Okay, almost done with Shiraz. Darbi Shazda Ecotourism and Homi Traditional Residence.
Darbi Shazda is a Qajar mansion, 9 rooms, focusing on keeping original details in the rooms. Homiuni, another 200-year-old mansion, 10 rooms, noted for a particularly pleasant courtyard.
Okay, Shiraz is seriously giving Isfahan a run for its money. Let's move east now to Kashan. The source calls it the city of historical houses.
And for good reason. Kashan is famous for its stunning, well-preserved historical homes. The Ameria Historical House is a standout. It's highlighted as one of the most beautiful traditional hotels there.
Right.
Qajar era, run as a boutique hotel, known for its amazing, authentic architecture, lovely rooms, multiple beautiful courtyards, and traditional restaurants. A real jewel.
Sounds like a must-see in Kashan. What about the Fanous Traditional Hotel?
Fanous is another well-regarded choice. Praised for its atmosphere, pleasant, peaceful, and beautiful traditional design. Again, historical house, central courtyard pond, authentic decorations, classic Kashan style.
Okay, onward to Yazd, famous for its desert architecture. And we have another Eskru boutique hotel here.
Yes, the Eskru Boutique Hotel in Yazd. It's right in the historical part of the city. And it's also considered one of Iran's most beautiful traditional hotels, mainly because the restoration of the old building was done so well, so faithfully.
Great restoration work.
Exactly. Captures that traditional ambiance, but with modern comforts seamlessly integrated.
And the Dad Hotel in Yazd, the source points to it as typical desert architecture.
Absolutely. Dad Hotel really showcases that style, using materials like adobe, mud brick, perfect for the climate.
Right.
The inside is designed to be calm and cool. You often find a pond, pomegranate trees, geraniums. But it's not basic. It has a restaurant, cafe, pool, sauna, jacuzzi. A real oasis feel.
Pool and sauna in a mud brick hotel. Nice blend. What about Labi Kanda Traditional Hotel?
Also in the historical area of Yazd, features those characteristic mud brick walls, offers that unique experience of original architecture combined with modern facilities. Another good example of the Yazdi style.
Okay, now for something really different. Kerman and the Persian Capers Hotel in Galgan.
Ah, yes, this one sounds quite special. It's a 4-star hotel, but it's more about experiencing the local Kerman lifestyle. Described as unique in Iran because it offers the chance to sleep under the stars.
So really? Like literally?
Apparently so, in a setting designed to reflect traditional local dwellings, a very different kind of immersion.
Wow, sleeping under the desert stars. That's memorable. Okay, let's head north to Zanjan and the Diedemann Traditional Hotel.
Diedemann in Zanjan is known for its authentic brickwork, a turquoise pong in the courtyard, and just a really pleasant atmosphere, considered one of the best traditional places in Zanjan.
Brickwork this time, not mud brick.
Right, different regional style. It has a limited number of rooms, so it feels cozy, plus an outdoor traditional cafe and a restaurant with local Zanjan food. A taste of old Zanjan life.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah.
And finally, Tehran, the capital. Nezamiya Historical and Traditional Residence.
Yeah, the source notes this interesting trend in Tehran, converting older houses into traditional or boutique hotels, even in the bustling capital.
Right.
Nezamiya is in central Tehran. It offers that unique historical stay, blending modern services with an atmosphere meant to evoke Iran's constitutional revolution era. A different slice of history right in the city.
Fascinating to see this trend in Tehran, too. Okay, we've toured all over Iran virtually. Let's pull back a bit. Fundamentally, why should someone choose one of these traditional hotels over a standard modern one?
Well, the advantages are pretty compelling, I think. Like the source summarizes, you get to actually live inside historical Iranian architecture, which is incredible.
Yeah, not just look at it.
Exactly. You can taste authentic local food and drinks right there. You often get a really peaceful, quiet environment, a real escape. And maybe the biggest thing, you gain a much deeper understanding, a real feel for Iranian culture and how people lived in the past.
Yeah.
It's a connection a normal hotel just can't give you.
It's much more than just accommodation. It's cultural immersion.
Totally.
The source even had some FAQs at the end, which might cover questions listeners have, like, what are traditional Iranian hotels?
Right. And the answer given is basically they're hotels in historical buildings with authentic Iranian architecture. Think tiles, plaster, mirrors, showcasing the country's history and culture.
And the main architectural features.
Key things mentioned are those central courtyards, often large halls, and unique artistic decorations drawing on old Iranian traditions, all designed to take you back in time.
Which cities have the most?
Tehran, Isfahan, and Shiraz are named as the main hubs, each with its own history reflected in its hotels.
And their historical and cultural significance, why do they matter?
The source puts it nicely, they're not just tourist lodging, they represent Iran's cultural, artistic, architectural heritage. They're like living museums passing down stories.
Habitable museums. I like that.
Yeah.
Finally, how do they manage the modern amenities aspect?
They balance it carefully, preserve the authentic architecture while integrating things like internet, aircon, modern bathrooms. So you get comfort without losing the history.
It really does sound like a fantastic combination. So, wrapping up this deep dive, what's the main takeaway about these traditional Iranian hotels?
I think it's that they offer a truly distinct and enriching travel experience. It goes so far beyond just having a place to sleep. It's a chance to genuinely connect with Iran's history and culture in a way a standard hotel just can't match.
Absolutely. That mix of stunning, authentic architecture, the peaceful atmosphere we talked about, plus the necessary modern comforts, it makes them a really compelling option for lots of different travelers.
And maybe for you listening, it's worth thinking about how staying somewhere like this could give you a much deeper connection to Iran's past and culture compared to a regular hotel. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What parts of history or culture really speak to you when you travel? And could a place like this be the perfect way to explore that connection more deeply?